Hey there, good morning. It is 10:31 a.m. It is October 25th, Saturday morning, and I'm getting my day started. So I want to finish up some of my arts and crafts and, then kind of re-strategize because, I feel as though all of these videos that I've been making and the time that has been going on with me discussing my issues relating to my work issues, I feel as though, I really have lost sense of direction. And the reason why is because, I know that I've dealt with vigilantes. I've dealt with people that I do not feel comfortable with. I've dealt with, having to unravel and uncover exactly how deep this trafficking program is. Okay. And so this is a lot of the reason why I struggle to know exactly where to start. Okay. And if I wasn't a targeted individual, it would not be an issue. Okay. I would have no problem knowing, because I would have been fully integrated within a community. I have been dealing with somebody keeping me, my sister. I need to stop referring to Lisa Hughes as my sister. I need to stop referring to Tanya Culligan and Rashawn Gordon and these people that I grew up in the same house with as my family. So I am now going to refer to Lisa Hughes as Lisa Hughes, okay? Lisa Hughes has been manipulating, as well as her husband, and she has encouraged other people to manipulate my life and my social interactions. So this is one of the reasons why I do not have direct contact. Like, for example, I am in the dark about all this. Like, I had to figure all of this out, okay? And it took me, as you guys can tell, many years to unravel the entire story, okay? And of course, I am very disturbed that this could have happened. Now, I do know that a lot of the celebrities, as well as the politicians who have been observing my channel, watching me, and they may have access. I will say that if the only person I am going to tolerate manning my channel would possibly be those in the government system. Okay, anyone else, you need to keep your little dirty fingers off my stuff. Okay. And only reason why I'm doing this is because I understand that I am a special person, and I had to figure all of this out. Like I said, my own, the whole bloodline thing, and all of this stuff. Okay, so now I understand who my true soul tribe is. I do believe, and I'm kind of shocked myself. I do believe that my true soul tribe are political people, and everybody knows. Okay, everybody knows that I've never been into politics. I think there's a lot of people who talk about me being in having a singing career. I am not somebody who wants to be a singer. Okay, so, and I've said this before, and I want to be taken seriously when I say something. It's really important that people listen to me the first time. Okay, this is a part of communication. I do, and see, I understand that. I'm a very strong personality, and I come to understand, looking back in my history, I understand that this is one of the reasons why I've had issues. And when it comes to, being raised in a group of people, I'm not even going to call them my family, being raised in a group of people who see you and they do not understand your strong personality because they are ignorant. Okay. And I have been misunderstood by these people. And because I've been misunderstood by these people, and I do believe that they were committed to misunderstanding me, they just simply didn't have any compassion, were not open to understand that everybody's a little bit different, okay? But I was abused by these people for many years. And I remember looking back on stories, and not, you don't really realize that you're an abused kid until you step back away from it. Now, after being blacklisted and having my sister do all kinds of horrible things to me, it's abundantly clear. Okay, but I remember growing up, this person, many people would come up to me and try to let me know that they are observing this from the outside looking in. And they said, you seem like a really abused person. And I would think, what are you talking about? I'm not abused. You know what I mean? But I realized that I was. I had siblings who were working against me, constantly playing these kind of bullying type games, and literally, erasing my opportunities before I even had a chance. And a lot of this has to do with, like I said, I had done some previous past life readings about my brother would be interacting with kids, like Palladian kids who most likely were associated with the Mormon church. I grew up in that sort of environment. I wasn't Mormon myself, but it was just a whole past life thing and all of this stuff. So people didn't really understand C.B. Briganza. C.B. Briganza was somebody who was completely devoted to the divine back then and in all his lives, and I am till this very day. Okay, and so much of the reason why people do not understand my devotion to the divine is because most people do not have any concept of what is sacred. They do not. They do not. Okay, they may attend church, they may do repetitive stuff, but they do not really fully understand, nor do they understand or respect the things that are of the other realm, or things that are higher in spiritual, what do you call it, angelic rank. Okay, and like I said, there's a lot of people who profess that, oh yeah, I would serve Jesus, I love Jesus, but when the push comes to shove, they find his personality something that's a little bit too difficult for them. So what they like to do is use slogans and phrases to act like they are actually devoted people, but when it comes down to the reality, they're hypocrites. Okay, just by their actions. Everything that happened that we went through right here shows it. Okay, so picking up from last night's conversation, I was talking about, and I think I posted that video. I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, I was talking about, my frustration of my Lisa Hughes, who grew up feeling competitive towards me, and it broke my heart, and it broke my heart that my mother would conspire against me. But I understand that self-hatred is a very intense and a very deep emotion. Okay, and when I think of how toxic and how consumed these people were with envy, evil, and how it has spread throughout the United States and other places, okay, this tells me that these people really, really hated themselves. Really deeply hated themselves, but they were not alone, okay? We have a lot of people who struggle with their self image. Okay, and I understand that we'll sit there and say things like, well, not everybody can look like so and so and so and so and so. You're absolutely right. No, everybody can look like so and so and so and so. I realize I can't look like Halle Berry, and I sucked it up, okay? And I made the best of what I had. Okay, and this is what you're supposed to do. Okay, anything other than trying to take care of yourself and then correcting your own issues, violating the space and the rights of other people is an absolute no no. Okay, not only is it a no no, okay, it is an illegal no no. Okay, and I catch on to this. See, I'm somebody who I understand law, I understand how it works in society, I understand things like sociology. This is why when these people were trying to bully me, these same kids who were bullying me out of grade school and everything else, okay, I was trying to make a difference. I was trying to become a CPA, right? In my later years, okay, because I figured, okay, I wanted to do something with life. I missed out on so much in life, okay? So these monsters come back again. They come back again. So, see, I can cover many social topics, okay? Workplace bullying, and I certainly can tell you that schoolyard bullying could often lead to workplace bullying, okay? And it's because of, most of it has a lot to do with people who live in ignorance. People who think, okay, like for example, I remember my mom used to think that if my sister Lisa made fun of me, then I would be able to correct something. She really thought that. She really thought that sometimes telling other kids to try to make fun of you was going to encourage you to do better. This was her way of disciplining people. A very uneducated person. What she was doing was actually encouraging and inciting arguments, bullying, and everything else. And she really thought that, hey, I'm telling my daughter what to do. I'm being a good parent. No, you are not. No, you are not. You know what? The thing is, discipline is actually telling people the steps along the way before a punishment is going to be necessary. That means you are responsible. If you have children, you are responsible for teaching them right from wrong, morals, how to behave, how to interact with people. And you definitely need to teach your kids not to touch things that do not belong to them. That is physical, whatever things, okay? If they didn't create it, they didn't, build it, it's not theirs to touch. Okay, and I can't tell you how many savage people that I have to encounter all the time who seem shocked to hear that this is how it's supposed to be. Okay, and why? Because it goes on from generation after generation after generation. Ignorance. And see, I'm somebody who believes in progressing who you are. Okay, it is stupid to sit here and think that because I didn't do these things that I don't want I want my son. It's okay that he misses out on things. No, I'm angry that my sister affected my life. Okay, and my son's 32 years old and he's living with his mother. Okay, I'm pissed off about it. All right. I mean, I sit there and like I realize how my sister, she's not my sister, Lisa Hughes, okay, has affected my emotional life, okay, because there's times I'll sit in my bed and I literally have like trauma issues because it freaks me out knowing that somebody could do all of this. You know why? Because she looks in the mirror and she doesn't like what she sees, and she thinks it's okay to hurt other people when she falls short of her own special requirements of how she can handle herself. That's not my problem. Okay? And so I understand that this cabal has gotten out of control. I know that I am not the only targeted individual woman who is in this situation. There's a lot of people who feel threatened by people who have put the time and energy into their life. Okay, which is what you're supposed to do. Okay, if you are truly an educated person, you would not be walking around obese. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. And you know it. You know it. Okay? And this is not me trying to make an argument. I'm just basically saying that this is what you have presented to me. You made everybody sit here and turn against me. And so I'm just telling you the truth. And you dare not try to rebuttal it because the fact of the matter is we all know it's true. Okay? I'm somebody you do not want to get in an argument with at all because I will always win. Okay? The other message I got is that I was always my father's favorite. Okay? And this is another one of the reasons why my Lisa Hughes has attacked me. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, when you're adopted into these families, okay, and this whole bloodline thing goes on, and then you've got these ignorant family members, okay, they must have known that I was the King Solomon and whatever. I was King Solomon, and I was obviously C. Beaver Gans, okay. These ignorant people, they've never cracked open a Bible. They don't know anything. Okay, all that, and then they're gonna sit here, and then they knew when I was growing up that I was studying I studied religion. They knew that I was somebody who studied history and all this other stuff. So then they're gonna sit here and try to act like, and they're gonna sit here and try to act like I am not living up to some sort of religious moral standard. I would like my Lisa Hughes to answer, or in my family, what makes these people think that me at the age after the age of 18, I have to listen to anything that these people say. I don't have to listen to doodly squat. Okay, and I'm absolutely disturbed by it. So yes, I was my father's favorite, and I loved my father very much. And I've seen my father deal with community harassment, bullying. Okay, it is that issue alone that made my father go to his early grave. Okay, and so I only to come to find out that my sister's sitting here orchestrating the same sort of stuff with me. I am, she's not my sister. I need to stop that. I need to work on my vocabulary. I need to change things. Okay, I need to change that. I need to stop saying that she's my sister. She is not my sister. She's some monster that I had to sit here and be raised around. That's what she is. Okay. Now, when it comes to my social media platforms, and I do believe that my videos are still getting uploaded to the shadow channels, right? It's like like I said, if Donald Trump is taking a look at my stuff, people in the White House are taking a look at my stuff, I'm glad to be telling you a thing or two. Okay, I'm letting you know what goes on. And I know you guys are doing a lot when it comes to things that you can obviously see on the surface. I'm somebody who really, I like to dig in the little crevices. You know what I'm talking about? And these little things that go on, these little social slights that go on. This is the under, what do you call it? The undercurrent of what creates the explosive stuff that you end up handling. Okay, I'm very grateful. The intuitive message I'm getting is I'm very grateful that I finally got my name cleared from the Clark Church. I understand that I am a very strong personality, and this is one of the issues that why the church took the stance that they did. They did not understand. Yes, I'm an angelic creature, and I speak like an angelic creature. I move like an angelic creature. I am an angelic creature. This is one of the reasons why, yes, the Mormons talked a lot about me coming back, being reincarnated. You know why? Because they knew I was a special case. I was a special case. Okay. And see, I know that I understand things like law. All the things that you study in school. Think of all the subjects you study in school. You think of them as individual subjects. No, that's not how you're supposed to look at them. They're supposed to be building your character. So that means when you read something, okay, you're supposed to apply it to your life right then and there. Okay, and yes, beautification is of the divine. It certainly is. And this is one of the things that was a part of our early education when I was in school. You know what I mean? And it must have been a part of C.B. Braganza's education. I know C.B. Braganza went to school in Europe. Okay, so they talked about things like opulence, setting the tone, things like that. That's important. That is important for your mood, your body, your mind, your spirit, all of it. Okay. Anyway, so I do get into a message that yes, you guys do. When I say you guys, I'm talking about my soul tribe. You people who are in political positions as well as celebrities, people who may have been heartbroken by dealing with fake family members, betrayals, setups, manipulated life. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is where I belong, really. But the thing is, I know that I've been cut off, meaning like my sister and this network of these obese women have made it very difficult for me to connect. Like a couple of days ago, I made an effort to connect to some of these people on social media. I have noticed that I cannot, okay, like for example, I wanted to friend Michelle Obama. I cannot friend Michelle Obama. I could follow her, but see, I cannot make it so that she and I can share the same content. So these people have messed with my social media accounts. And I believe that they do it on purpose? Absolutely. Just like a couple of weeks ago, my son ordered a bicycle. Okay, and my son, he doesn't want to believe that people would go to the sort of lengths that these people would do to harass you and try to control you. So my son had ordered a bicycle, and he didn't order a bicycle once. He ordered it twice. Okay, different situations and stuff, but he still got some sort of runaround. Okay, bloodline targeting is real. Okay, it is real. All right. And so I'm letting you know I'm aware of it. My son is very sweet, and I would prefer to protect him from all of this nonsense. Okay. But I'm aware that it's there. All right. And so let me see what other message I'm getting. I'm aware that does exist. Okay. And so I understand that we have some people who did some bad stuff here in the state of California at my sister's instructions. She thinks she's just being funny. She thinks she's playing a joke. It's not a joke. It is not a joke. When you threaten people, when you hate yourself so much that you threaten the lives, not she by targeting me, she was willing to take this issue to like the White House and then have people in the state of California participate in it. And not only that, make other people suffer just because my sister had a vendetta and she wanted to hurt somebody. This is the truth, okay? This is the kind of pathological sickness my sister suffered, or sorry, Lisa suffered from. Okay, anyway, I'm glad to know that my Swanton Manifesto newsletter is at least in the right hands. I do believe that it's going to people like the White House, Freemasons, um, who else? Churches are fine. Churches are fine. It's just the fact that my sister had no right to sit here and like direct that. Okay, I'm very very traumatized by her, and I do wake up sometimes at night in sweats, because here's this monster that I realize I grew up with, okay, and then she's raging me and coming around over and over and over again. Okay, she ruined my life back in school with her stupid friends, and she ruined my life again when she made it so that I could not become a CPA. Okay, and now I'm 54 years old. Okay, and I was thinking about, my resentment of the cloning process because I understand that I did some past life readings on CB Braganza, right? And I realized he was doing a lot of hop, skip, and jumping. You know why? Because he was exceptional at his jobs. He was exceptional at his job. And I was pulling these like different state cards. Like he was going to places like Ohio, North Dakota, Pennsylvania. He was bouncing all over the place. You know why? Because people were after him, all religious people, right? Because they were just looking at him in awe, like, well, he is such a strong person. Yes, I'm a very strong person. Okay, I'm somebody who I don't play around. Okay, I don't think your jokes are fun. Anything that's gonna inconvenience me, I do not think it's funny. Okay, I do not appreciate people playing with me, trying to be sly with me, trying to sit here and try to get one over on me. How dare you disrespect me? Okay, and then trying to get me in trouble with the federal government and all this other stuff because people are jealous because I look nice in my clothes. And then also the fact that I had my father's apparition. My father's apparition, like I said, it appears because I was basically abandoned and deserted in this world. So I mean, I deserve to have someone in my life, and I have spiritual backing. The Masons always regarded C.B. Braganza as a savior. I do believe that the Masons were very protective. Some Masons were, and we've always had some corrupt people creep up every once in a while. But I'm very grateful that this whole issue of cloning is being more understood in the church system, because the church system did create a lot of problems for a lot of people. Okay. Um, I'm not going to say this right now, okay? But I do want to get in touch with people, and I would say that it's very difficult for me to get in touch with them. Okay, people do know that they look at me as the best, and I think a lot of people I'm intimidating to a lot of people. I'm intimidating to a lot of people. Okay, and I know for many years I've lived into this community off and on. I've lived in this community off and on, okay? And most people would just see me around town, and they never seen me, actually discuss anything, talk about my views, my opinions, or even really talk about anything at all. They pretty much only know me from basically what they saw, and they always judge you on the same thing. Oh, well, she thinks she's somebody. She's wearing nice clothes. Yes, I wear my nice clothes. Okay, and then they sit there and be nosy and watch what you buy at the store. I resent that. Okay. I resent that. And then they want to sit here and like try to humble you, and you have no right to do that. You have no right to do that. And so basically what these people did was they initiated a hate crime, and the hate crime is in the state of California. Okay, so I know that they were preventing me from advancing my projects like I wanted to advance my autodidacts project, which was eventually going to uh, make the moral reset what do you call it? The moral reset a requirement in the state of California. And I was hoping that it would catch on and spread throughout the United States, right? Because, like I said, some people don't understand that you're supposed to say please and thank you. And I wish I was kidding. I wish I was kidding when I'm saying this. Okay, I wish I could. I wish I could tell you that that people knew that right from wrong, that they knew that you're not supposed to steal people's stuff. Okay, but we have grown adults who think nothing of it. Okay, so we live in a very ignorant society. Okay, we have overweight women who think it's okay, or even their job or their religious duty, moral duty, to sit here and try to humble people and try to make other people as miserable as they are. And they think that they're righteous in the eyes of God. Okay, we live in a very morally twisted society. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why I am the savior, because I bring these things out, and the Masons knew this. And I had mentioned that the Masons, a lot of religions have come out of the Masons. So let's just be real here, okay? I am somebody special, and I realize that. Okay, I understand where my bloodline comes from, so I don't appreciate it. Okay, and I am aware of it when people try to be sly with me. So you will talk to me with respect in all of my interactions. And this is not me threatening you. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay, I'm trying to be very polite in this community. I have dealt with things that I should not have dealt with. And I know that you know that I'm telling the truth. Okay? If you truly respected the things of the divine, you would understand what I'm saying. Okay? I do not take any personal slight um, and just let it I'm not going to disregard it. Okay, I am always going to make sure that you understand not to mess with me. Okay, so get right. Anyway, I do understand that the authority ops are on my side and that my perps have been busted. Okay, like I said, this is most likely something that is going to go throughout the United States. Okay, because like I said, they have been messing with people who want to live decent lives. Okay. What triggers these people is that they see me minding my own business, living my life, coordinating my clothes, and they feel envious towards it. Okay, so they feel compelled to take action. So basically, what they're saying is that they committed a hate crime. Okay, and these people have been formulating networks and going into different organizations such as the EDD, such as the state of California. I'm talking about the education division, which is what something I wanted to penetrate, and then also things like things like relating to benefits and all this other sort of stuff. Okay, these people are corrupt and they're creating all kinds of problems. Okay, and not only they may have done it originally to attack me, but I do believe that they are attacking many people who are good quality people. Me, when I say good quality people, we're good quality people. We're people who take our professionalism seriously. That's another thing I want to talk about. People who have superior work ethics. I have a superior work ethic. Most targeted individuals are targeted individuals by people like this. Okay, they want to keep the people with the superior work ethic out of the workplace. They want to keep people who have a professional appearance out of the workplace. I'm going to tell you what, when it comes to the workplace, every time, like when I send correspondences to people, whether that be internal or external, meaning like within the organization or outside of the organization, I always make sure that it is written well. Okay, I see people with their shabby work, their crappy communication skills. Okay, and these are college educated people. I'm talking their 4-year degree. Okay, so I cut the crap already. All right, I'm tired of dealing with this garbage. Okay, and so yes, this is what I'm talking about to Donald Trump and the rest of the White House. Okay, we need to fix this. Okay, because I personally feel as though if this is the new world order, which I'm going to tell you what, this better be, because otherwise this would really be a waste of my time. Because I'm going to tell you what, the nightmare workplace that we have it makes it even more tragic. It's tragic, okay, that somebody has to exist this way. And so I personally feel as though if what the message I'm getting is that these people are getting terminated, and there's a lot of people who committed suicide, and there's a lot of people who are homeless right now. Okay, and I do not feel sorry for them. I hope it continues to go on throughout the United States. You know what I call it? It's called thinning the herd. Okay, I would like to see this world thin down to a population that is controllable. Okay, and not only that, that has higher standards of living. And it only makes sense. Okay, and I do believe people like that are nothing but problems. So long to them. Okay, I think that's about all I really wanted to say. Um, I want to say, thank you to the Bakersfield Masons as well as the Lancaster Masons. Um, Also, worldwide. I have suffered like so many years through this program and this cloning program, and I know that my sister has taken advantage of this issue. Okay, she has painted me out to be somebody like, oh, I'm such a bad person. I'm not a bad person at all. I mean, I've done things. I mean, we all done things that we aren't happy about, or we should take back. But I've never done anything that warrants this. Okay, I am proud of my lifestyle. I am proud of my views. I'm proud of the way I've lived, which I have a right to. Okay, I live correctly. Yes, I'm going to say it. I live correctly, meaning I'm a law abiding citizen. I respect other people's rights, and I certainly would have never done anything that would even resemble the kind of stuff that these other people have done. So, yes, okay. So my hope is that these people, these obese vigilantes, will lose their jobs. Okay. Now, like I said, there's overweight people who are working and they're not doing anything to people. Okay. But I personally feel is if you've heard these people talking about how they're attacking other people, they're bullying their coworkers, then they need to get the hell out of the workplace. Okay, and then we need to uh, refill these positions with the responsible people, with the right people, with the targeted individuals, and we need to get back into the workplace. And these people need to go out and die in the street or whatever the hell. Okay, actually, I was thinking about creating a short story. I was kind of like a short horror story about these toxic individuals that end up dying in the streets, and then they are so toxic that we don't even like give them a proper burial. We take them out with the rest of the hazardous waste. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this video and I will be back with another video sometime later. Take care. Bye bye.